Hello! How's it going out there, everybody? Good morning, good evening, whatever it is for you. And welcome to the stream, the pre-stream, to be exact. And I know it's a little bit earlier than usual. Actually, recently I've been starting most of my streams around 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noonish Pacific Time. But today I was already up a little bit earlier. I was up a little bit earlier because I had a few things going on, including I had a professional out here to measure all of our windows on the top floor. We're actually considering getting a much better blinds installed, in particularly here in my office, as well as over in the bedroom. Because as you know, in my office, I've been talking about this all summer, that unfortunately the sun beats on the window and creates massive amounts of heat, and unfortunately with the shade system that I have right now, it blocks out the window when I pull it down, and so I can't get the circulation that I need. If I had blinds, I could leave the blinds maybe half open and it would work a little better. In addition, in the bedroom, our blinds are completely busted. This was one of the first things that I actually vlogged as we arrived here at the house in late June, was that the blinds in the bedroom were pulled all the way up and destroyed, basically. They pulled them up so hard, they ripped all the cording out of the blinds. In order for us to actually sleep that first night, I had to take scissors and snip all of the threads so that we could actually have the blinds drop down and block out the sun. So we have not even been able to use our window in the bedroom since we moved here. And you might be saying, why would you have a professional come out here? Well, it's very simple, because I did measure myself, and then we went to the store, and none of the blind sizes were available to the size that I had measured. And they were like, well, if you have the guy go out there, he gives us the info, and then what we do is we will see, oh, if you can buy this one and we can cut it off and have it custom fit to your window. So I said, you know what, just have the guy come out here. It wasn't very expensive. Have him come out and do it, so that way we know we're doing it right, versus me going off my measurements. Then we go to install these things and nothing fits. You know, that would be the worst case scenario. You buy blinds, you think they're going to fit, you bring them, and now they're your shot. They're too small or whatever, and now you're stuck with them. The store's not going to take custom blinds back. So I'm doing it the right way, doing my due diligence. And so we're probably going to be contacted in the next couple of days by the store to come in and be looking at blinds and stuff, and we're probably going to try to arrange that for this weekend. If not, if that doesn't work out, we may have to squeeze it in at some point this week, which may affect streaming, but I'll obviously let you guys know about that as it happens. Got a few things to talk about today, actually. A few things to talk about here on the pre-stream. First of all, last night, I was just kind of airing my thoughts on Twitter a little bit. About a few things. First of all, I wanted to know if people really do use the stuff that I post up on Twitter on a daily basis. Or if it's just me kind of spinning my wheels and really no one cares about it. And what I mean by that is, for example, oh, these videos are now live, here's the link to the playlist. Oh, here's tomorrow's schedule. Because what a lot of people, I think, don't realize is that when I go offline, when I go off the air, and I'm no longer broadcasting on stream, that I'm not done with my work. There's still, probably, I'd say, every single day, after I go off the air, about an hour to an hour and a half of continuous work that I continue to do after I'm no longer broadcasting, which includes queuing up the videos to upload to YouTube, creating playlists, adding videos to playlists and ordering them, then adding those playlists to my main channel page on YouTube so that you can actually see what I'm up to recently. Updating my website so that the main homepage is updated with the newest playthroughs and also tomorrow's schedule. Then screen capping those schedules and tweeting that out on Twitter. Also sending out links to the playlists once they're live on Twitter. So there's a lot of work involved behind the scenes that a lot of people, you may not even realize. This is what Phil does. You think that Phil goes offline and that's it. You don't hear from it again, right? I'm actually consistently doing work behind the scenes here every single day. But what I don't usually do is ask for feedback or ask for, are you guys even using it? I've realized this. I was thinking about it. I've had this website live since February. The homepage has been functional since March. And every day I've been tweeting out this schedule, and I've been tweeting out playlists for years. And I never really said, gee, is anyone actually using this? Do you find this useful? And apparently some people do. I did get some good responses last night. People saying, Phil, no, please don't stop doing it. We do use it on a daily basis. Some people even said, I didn't even start finding your content or your streams until you started, you get the links that tweet out when you go live and stuff like that. So that's good to know. It's good to know that, I'm putting the time in, but people are actually using it. Versus, versus the fact that I'm just kind of spinning my wheels and everyone's like, oh, whatever. On the flip side of that, I aired my thoughts a little bit about Twitter, saying that if you remember, it was actually my resolution in the year of 2013 that year I was going to be much more interactive with my fan base, that I was going to be talking more on social media, that I was going to be directly answering questions, that people basically said they wanted to have a more one-on-one relationship with me versus just me talking to the entire fan base. And so I did. I made an honest effort last year to talk on Twitter more and to try to be more interactive. And unfortunately, this year it seems like a lot of that has gone away. And I don't mean in regards to me actually doing it. I mean in regards to people actually just doing it, like talking to me on Twitter and interacting and stuff like that. And I was kind of hypothesizing what could have caused it. And quite honestly, the only thing that I can think of is that a lot of people have unfortunately gotten turned off from my content and from me because of this slander that's been all over the internet about me. All the ridiculous things. It's so funny because, people who actually take the time to research and or people who've been longtime fans of mine know that 99% of the stuff that people say is absolutely ridiculous. But you get someone, for perfect example of this, about a month ago, there was a person who I recognized the name. I don't know if I'd ever had a one-on-one personal interaction with this person, but they were a forum member of mine, and all of a sudden one day, they posted up something like to the effect of, effective immediately, please delete my account. I can't figure out how to do it, but I am no longer going to be a fan of Phil because I just watched a video that said that he was dating his girlfriend when she was like 16 years old, and he doesn't want to admit it, but that's gross because she was an underage girl, and how dare he do that, and I'm gone, goodbye. And when you see something like that, you have to understand or even think about, so this is the one guy who heard this bullshit, this complete nonsense, right? It's completely unfathomed. There's no basis in fact. I never even talked to Leanna until she was well over the age of 18, right? I never even met her. She never even messaged me online. I never even knew of her existence. But people make shit up, and it spreads like a virus. And then you gotta wonder, this is the one guy who was so upset about it because he was actually a big fan of mine, and it actually hurt him to stop being a fan of mine, that he made this big overblown post about it on my website. How many people who used to be fans of mine heard this nonsense and didn't say anything, didn't make a post about it, and that they're just gone, right? And it's pretty bad. It really does get pretty bad when it happens. And people, someone just said on the stream, are people that gullible? Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, yes. People are that gullible, and this is the problem, is that it doesn't matter the fact that, like I said, 99% of the stuff that people say about me is false. What matters is that that stuff is all said about me, and there is a group of people, as I've said for the past 2 years now, new people who are just jumping on the internet. Oh, I want to see video game footage. Oh, this guy Darkside Phil has like 30,000 videos, and he covers every game. Wow, let me go check him out. And then the first thing they see is 10 slanderous videos about me saying complete bullshit, right? That's lies. And because of that, they don't care about the level of content. They don't care about my videos. All they care about is that nasty thing they heard about me, and they never check out my stuff. Or even on the flip side, they go even they become part of that campaign. They become part of that movement of hate And it's kind of out of control, you know? And it's sad because, like I said, in early 2013, I had people who were actively saying, Phil, we want to be more interactive with you. We wish that you would be more interactive on Twitter and do all this stuff. So I started doing it, and now here we are, you know, second half of 2014, and I don't even have many people who even talk to me anymore on Twitter, quite honestly. And it's sad. There were people who used to talk to me all the time, and then this slander bullshit started. Next thing you know, now it's all negativity from them. And I'm not angry. I want to have people understand. I'm not angry, right? I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed that as a mentality, the internet has become such a sheepish mentality that it's almost a cult where one or a certain group of people who are very, very irresponsible, who unfortunately are also idiotic sheep, and who have a fan base decide to promote and or participate in a movement that otherwise would be seen as something that like a 5-year-old would do. And because that happens, now it gives credibility to the movement, and now all the people care about is the negativity towards me versus the fact that I'm one of the very first people who did honest, raw, unedited Let's Plays and playthroughs on the internet, that I've been there since day one. You know, I'm not one of these people that jumped on the bandwagon in the middle of the time when you could monetize these videos. I did it years before I ever could make a penny doing this. You know, I fell into making a living doing it because I got laid off from my job, not because I wanted to make it big on YouTube. That was never my intention. And the fact that my content to this day still represents the reactions and the gameplay of an average gamer who would jump in and play games. And I think that's why when I play a new game, people watch my content. Gee, well, if Phil plays this game and he likes it, well, that means that I might like it too. If Phil plays this game and he's having difficulties with it and he's raging, that means that I might not like it. And I think people actually gauge a lot of their buying decisions based off of things such as how is Phil doing in a new game. But it's unfortunate because it used to be not that. It used to be, well, we watch Phil because he's the average gamer and he has fun. He plays for fun, and he plays to experience classics, and he plays because for the love of gaming, not because he's trying to make a paycheck, not because he's trying to show his giant E-dick by editing all the videos and all his fails out. He's raw and he's real, and that's what people liked about me. And today's mentality, this huge wave of negativity, is Phil's a hypocrite, Phil's a douchebag, Phil's a piece of crap. He makes money and doesn't put effort into it, which is ridiculous. To think that you think I don't put effort into my content with the amount of time and money that I invest on a daily basis into it, just because I don't play one game a week and then sit in front of a computer video editing it like a lot of other Let's Players, doesn't mean that I'm not putting effort in. It just means that I play more games and I don't work on the back end of making them shiny and nice looking. Instead, I focus on the games and the gameplay. And a lot of people say, well, that's quantity over quality. I don't think so. I think it's caring about the game and the gameplay and having fun and treating it as a hobby versus I want to make my videos super highly produced so that the masses think that it's some kind of a gorgeous thing and now I can be widely accepted. There's become this mentality on the internet that it's almost an elitist mentality now. That it used to be, wow, someone's playing a game on YouTube, that's great. Now I can see if the game's fun, and I can judge for myself if I like the game based off of what this guy's doing. And by the way, Phil's personality is funny as well, so we have fun watching, we're entertained. Now it's, well, this doesn't look like it's been run through a video editor, and this is not his amazing epic successes in this game. This is raw footage. How dare this person upload this raw footage? Unacceptable. You know? And it's ridiculous. It really is a mob mentality that's been happening. It's brainwashing. Here's what happened, okay? Here's exactly what happened. People saw that there was money to be made. Okay? People saw there was money to be made. And when you see that there's money to be made, you realize that you have to find a way to break into that market and to make it profitable for you, especially if you're a late adopter. Because I'll be honest, the people right now that are the biggest people gaming on YouTube, a lot of them weren't doing it back when I was. They jumped on in the middle as soon as videos were monetizable. Gee, now all of a sudden they're making gameplay videos. Gee, what a coincidence, right? But anyway, they said, gee, well, here you go. You got people who are playing games on the internet. Well, if I could do that, but if I could make it look shiny and professional, rather than just a normal person playing a game, and then I create this mentality that that's the right way to do it, that's how I'm going to make out. And that's what's happened. You've got people who literally created hundreds of thousands of people that are now a movement that if you don't play a game a certain way, if you don't create a Let's Play video a certain way, you're doing it wrong. To which I say, fuck you. Because, first of all, I was here before you. So don't give me that shit that you're doing it right and I'm doing it wrong. I was successful before a lot of these fucking people who are trying to say that. And number two, it's not about one thing is right and one thing is wrong. I've said this so many times. The world is not black and white. There is not correct and incorrect. There is not, you know, one way of thinking is right and the other way of thinking is completely wrong. There's just many, many, many shades of gray. And let's face it, if the entire world was just one fucking thing, how boring would this world be if we all just did the same thing? The variety is the spice of life. That's what makes it exciting, to know that there's people who are doing Let's Plays one way, people that are doing Let's Plays another way. And if you don't like one version, that's fine. But don't take your time to go destroy the person who does it a different way, because that's not what you like. And that's really what's happened to me, is there's become a movement of people that we don't like the way Phil does it. We don't feel that he should be successful because he does it a certain way. So destroy him and his reputation with complete bullshit. And it bothers me because, again, there was a point where people were dying for me to jump on social media. Phil, get on Twitter. Phil, get on Facebook. We want to talk to you. We want to interact. And now here we are years later, and by the way, I'm still successful. I have a new house in Washington. By no means, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way and think that I'm complaining. I'm doing well. But the fact that now there's so many people who are turned off to me as a person and my content simply because of bullshit and this mob mentality on the internet, and the fact that, yes, people are gullible, people are sheep, people, if they see that there's a large group of people who believe something, they'll think that that's correct rather than judging for themselves or even taking the time to do a tiny bit of research. There's actually people on the internet right now who think that I'm not good at Street Fighter. There's people who will say, Phil was never a professional fighting game player, Phil was never good, Phil never won anything, he's a liar, and they make fun of me for it. Even though you can fucking take 2 seconds and search on the internet and find videos of me winning tournaments, me beating high-level players like Justin Wong. It's on the internet. But people want to ignore that and believe what they want to believe because of a mob mentality. And it's absolutely ridiculous, right? So, you know, and that's what I was kind of venting about on Twitter last night, and I hope that people didn't really take it the wrong way. It's not like I'm depressed or anything. It's that it's sad to see that there was, you know, for a while there was a lot of people who were really into me and my content. They liked me as a person. They wanted to hear what my thoughts were on things. They always wanted to interact with me. And then I kind of became that person, that interactive person, and now all of a sudden within a year it all kind of fell apart because of that. And there's no way that I can do it. There's no damage control that can fix that. When you have so many people who have made a movement against me, right? It doesn't matter what I say or do. There's thousands of them and one of me. I can't counter every single argument of 1,000 people with the facts, because then I won't have any time to do any gameplay. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. They say, oh, well, Phil never responds to all the hate against him, so it must all be true. No, it's just that I can't respond to it. There's no way I'd be able to respond to all of it. It's not feasible. And what I would ask you guys is this, all right? When you watch other people's content and you see someone like that who's such a mentality of there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and fuck anyone who doesn't do it the way that I do it, because that means that I'm right and they're wrong, okay? You have to understand that they're doing that for a reason. They've fooled people into thinking that that's the way life is, that there's a right way and a wrong way to do stuff. And why do you think that there are right now larger YouTubers, there are, much larger than me, that are actually participating in this movement? It's because they think that that's going to get them more views. Well, if I can convince 10 more people today that editing videos versus raw gameplay is the way to go, that means that they'll watch my stuff instead of Phil's, And there you go. And that's what's happened, is that a lot of my fan base, who used to be, Phil's the go-to guy for new content and new games, said, well, we've been told that that's the wrong way to do it, so we're going to watch somebody else. And that's messed up. Because it's competition. It's what's happened. Behind my back, people have backstabbed me. I'm not going to name names, but I know a few people who basically participated in stuff like this. And it's a major reason why there's a business decline for me right now. And again, don't take this as me being all negative and about the views. I'm not. Like I said, I'm still doing fine. You know? God, I would be such an asshole to complain about money when here I am, I own my new house in Washington. I still own a condo in Connecticut. I've got a nice car. I've got a beautiful girlfriend who, you know, right now is adjusting to life with me, and we're kind of adjusting together. We're having great meals on a daily basis. My life is good. So don't take it like that, because that's not what I'm getting at. All right? What I'm getting at is I'm a little disappointed when I had that positivity behind me, that people were so interested in my thoughts, they were so interested in interacting with me, and it's kind of gone away because of this bullshit mob mentality, just so people could make money. And that's really what it is when it comes down to it. Just so other people could make money by making me look bad and slandering my name. That's how this whole thing really happened. Don't be fooled, right? Don't think that it's some kind of legitimacy to it. There's not. It's business. It's a business, and it always will be business. As soon as money started to be made on the internet, immediately I became the villain. Because God forbid someone actually enjoy gaming, play games for the fact that they enjoy it as a hobby, and make a living doing it, versus someone who sits there and does professional shiny videos. God forbid. They hate me. Don't let them fool you. They hate my guts that I am able to do it the way that I do it and make a living doing it. So anyway, I digress. I wanted to get that off my chest because that was kind of bothering me overnight, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Look, and immediately already, someone on Twitter, you know, being a dick. Keep in mind, this is someone who follows the fucking Twitter accounts that try to, you know, slander me. This is what I mean. It's a mob mentality. It's a mob fucking mentality. It's gross. These people are fucked because they actually have been convinced that I'm an evil person, and that because I do things a certain way that it's the wrong way to do it, and God forbid that I make any kind of success for myself doing it that way. Alright. So anyway, excuse me. Anyway, one final thing that we'll say on the pre-stream, and then we'll get started with today's gameplay, which, by the way, I know I've gotten sidetracked here. It's Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, which, again, just going along with the thread of thought here, if I had played this game 2 years ago, probably would have been the hottest thing on YouTube. People would have been talking about, wow, Phil's playing Vice City Stories, and he's failing and he's raging, but he's having fun doing it, and it's a good game, watch and play. And now it's, well, that's the unedited video, that's the guy who complains, and he blames the game for his faults, and that's the wrong way to do it, so fuck him, we're not going to watch the content. It is what it is. I'm enjoying the game, I'm having fun with it, I'm having as much fun with it as I did the other Grand Theft Auto games for PS2 that I played years ago. So I'm going to continue playing it no matter what, and I'm going to beat it. We're going to be playing it for about 4 hours on stream today. I actually don't know how far into the game I am. I mean, I basically just made it to the second island, so I have to think that there's a ton more content that I haven't gotten to yet. So, going to be about 4 hours of that on stream today. Second stream tonight is going to be Ratchet & Clank 2, and it's probably going to be the conclusion of Ratchet & Clank 2. Because I actually have been told that I basically have one mission to do on the planet I'm on, then I have to backtrack and do one additional mission, and then I unlock the final planet, which is 1 to 2 missions, and then it's over. So, that's the plan for today, the rough plan. One final thing that I want to throw out there because I want to let you guys know ahead of time. Obviously, I'm going to talk about it in the weekend preview coming up next week. But a week from this Friday, I am taking off. There will not be any gameplay streams a week from this Friday, as that is that's going to be well, that's Leanna's birthday. And so we're going out on the town that day. We're actually, for the very first time since we moved to this area of the country, we are actually going to head out to Seattle. And not just the outskirts, but actually the main city of Seattle, which we haven't seen since April. And we're going to do a few things. We're probably going to hit up, possibly, we're talking about the zoo, and maybe a gastro pub for dinner or something. We're going to do a few fun things, and we're going to be vlogging that day. So there won't be any gameplay streams that day, but once we get home, there's going to be some vlogging. Some vlogging going on there, and that should be pretty fun. Because, like I said, we haven't had a chance to actually head out to Seattle since we moved here. We've been here for 2 months now. We haven't even seen the city of Seattle. We saw more of Seattle during the week that we were here to tour the area and scope out potential houses than we did now that we live here. So, yes, we are actually going to be going out and doing stuff that day. So that's a week from this Friday. A week from this Friday, that is coming up. Alright? So, just to give you the heads up, not that it's a surprise or anything. And I know that week's going to be busy. You know, I know that week's going to be crazy busy with Madden is coming out. Infamous First Light, the Dark Souls 2 DLC, and if I get it in time, which I'm hoping it arrives soon, my Nintendo 3DS capture setup. So all that shit's going on that same week, and if the 3DS setup works, that means that around that time period, I'm going to be starting Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright on the 3DS, which I'm sure people are going to be interested in seeing. It's a pretty crazy crossover, right? So that being said, I understand that taking a day off that week is probably going to be tight. So what I've decided is that that week I will not be doing any kind of a vlogging or podcast show. Usually on Thursdays I either do Ask the King or Hate Live. Next week there will not be one. Simply because I'm going to have so much going on with gaming starting that week that it would not make sense to take time out to do one. I would rather, focus on the gaming that week. Okay? Alright, so that is it for the pre-stream. Let's end it. Let's get started with Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. I thank you for being here on the stream. Or, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube as well. Thanks, and let's jump in.